Live streaming is on.
Greetings and welcome to Stunt Hangar Video Hangouts. My name is Charles Carter, and I will be your host this evening. I want to extend to you my deepest gratitude for you watching Stunt Hangar Video Hangouts. If you are watching this as a replay, I want you to know that I host these YouTube live streams every Monday and Friday evening, starting at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So please make a note of this so you can watch or be part of the live stream. Plus, we have an after party following the live stream, which is sometimes better than the live stream portion. You must, however, be a registered Stunt Hangar Forum member to find the link to attend the after party. Here at Stunt Hangar Video Hangouts, we talk about building, flying, model airplanes, sport flying, competition flying, and what you have been doing lately. To join our conversation, if you are already a member of Stunt Hangar Forum, you can find the link if you scroll down to the section called At the Bench. Make sure my mic is working. I hope it's working. If you are not a member, please register at stunthangar.com/SMF. Now, you must place a space between your real first and last name when you register, or Sparky, the proprietor of Stunt Hangar, will not approve you. You must also use a valid email address. If you are inclined to not come in and just enjoy watching us on YouTube, please enter your questions or comments in the chat box, and I will do my best to make your comments or questions a part of the show. Now, understand that sometimes I can't get a word in myself, so be patient. I will ask our illustrious panel your question or state your comment. Now, if you find Stunt Hangar Video Hangouts or the many building videos Sparky does on this platform informative and enjoyable, please give us a thumbs up. That's when I say like, give us a like. Subscribe and share the videos. That helps the channel grow. Please consider joining our YouTube channel membership starting at $4.99 a month, which is less than 17 cents a day. Now, your support helps offset some of the expenses of running Stunt Hangar, and with your memberships, you get special badges in the YouTube chat box that I can see, unlimited replay of member-only videos, and once a month, Sparky has a Q&A show just for members only. You can also use the super chat, which is located at the bottom of the chat box. Now, this is during the live portion. If you're watching us live, you can make donations then. And we want to thank you for your past, your present, and future support. Please keep the conversation family room friendly. In other words, please don't use words you wouldn't say around your children or grandchildren or both. And without any further ado, I'm going to post the link. So I'm going to go to stunthangar.com now and post the link. There we go. And so the link should be posted for those of you, and we will get this show started. I'm working out with a new camera, so if I'm looking obscure, which I can see how I'm, let me see if I can adjust this camera a little bit without it falling. All right. So let's see here. I think I got everything. Let me check the YouTube site. Yeah, we got a connection there. And Dan Winship says, hello, Charles. Hey, Dan. Hope you come in this evening. That'd be wonderful. And Tom Rammel says, he hit the like. Did you? Not yet. I got to change to my channel. I actually come in on Sparky's channel, so I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I could as Sparky like it, I guess. But anyhow, how you guys been doing? And Gerald Wimmer says, hello, Charles, and all of those on Stunt Hangar. Well, it looks like all of those is just myself. Let me check and see what's going on. If I did post it on the Stunt Hangar. Oh, by the way, can you guys hear me? Because I can't hear myself. I guess I got something. Let me see here. Let me go to at the bench. And yeah, I got the link there posted. Let me click on it. It's there. All right. So let's see what's happening here. And anyways, I really haven't done much flying. I did fly Friday, and I said that last time. I put up a couple of flights. It was like 3 of us. Here comes Gary. Gary Sinclair. Where are you, Gary? I hit allow. What happened? What's going on with YouTube? Oh, here comes Gary. So far we have 4 likes, and I'm assuming that's one of those 4 is you, Tom. Thank you. So we have 9 viewers and 4 likes, and Gary's trying to come in. I don't know what is going on with Gary or YouTube. It could be YouTube just as well. And if anybody, can you please tell me if you can hear me? I get Tom Ramos says we hear you. This is awful strange that I don't hear myself. Normally I hear myself. So let me see how these settings, if they're set up for which microphone am I using? Oh, I'm using the oh, okay. That's very interesting. I'm using this microphone. How does it sound? How is the audio? This is my first time using that particular mic. And Dan says that new camera has taken 10 years off your age. Well, that was money well spent. Thank you, Dan. Oh, that's awesome. And then, hey, hi, Craig. He says, hello, all. And then Joe Wimmer says, I hit the like too. So that's for sure. I know 2 people hit like. 2 of the 5. I see we have 5 likes now. That's great. That's awesome. All right. Gary, I can't see you and can't hear you. Try to say something. I see the I see your initials. Okay, here comes Peter.
Is on.
Hey, Peter.
Hey.
So how's my audio sound, Peter?
Sounds fine. Sounds very good.
All right, cool. Yeah, Dan said that the camera takes 10 years off my age. I have a new camera.
Oh, cool. Audio sounds great.
All right. Hey, Bob.
Hey, guys.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm all right. How are you guys?
Doing well. Yeah, I was thinking about, here comes Dan Winship. All right. Hey, Dan, thanks for coming in.
Hi. I'm on the camera for a cell phone out here in the garage, so
That's okay.
It's looking good. Yeah, you're just narrow, but you're looking good. And that takes 10 years off of you too, Dan.
Yeah, I bet. Oh. See if I can get this thing set up here.
All right. Yeah, no pressure. So what you been up to, Bob?
Just working on airplanes and wing orders and Stunt News, trying to get Stunt News up on the website.
Very good. Yeah, I looked for it. I didn't see anything last time I looked.
We're having some teething problems, but it's all coming together pretty soon.
Oh, sure, absolutely. I mean, it takes a while to do something right.
The new format too, so
There.
different than the format I'm used to.
Yeah, absolutely.
How you doing, Bob?
Pretty good, Daniel. How are you?
I'm good. It's past my bedtime here. I don't know how long I'm going to stay on.
Yeah, me too. It's 10 o'clock almost. So.
Yeah.
Gee.
You know,
Hey, Bob, here's a foam wing.
let me click on you, Big Dan. Hang on a second. And you allow Gary to come back in and click on you. Oh, interesting.
These ribs are like I-beam ribs.
Uh-huh.
Basically, I use the foam to jig up the ribs. Once these ribs are glued in, then all this foam here disappears.
Whoa.
So the only thing I'm using the foam for is just to align all the ribs. And then the leading edge is cored out. And then the spar is an end grain with 2 carbon caps on it. So sort of like an experiment here.
Very interesting. Let me turn my attention to the chat box. And let me see here. Craig says, sounds good. Thank you, Craig. And Craig also says, Dan, are you working on that wing?
Yeah, this is a USA 1. It's Billy Warwich's design. And same airfoil, but I just thickened it up a little bit.
Is this plane going to be ready for the gnats, or is another plane you're going to use for the gnats?
No, I think I'm going to fall behind. I've got that thing there.
Okay.
That's Casmanato's Blue Max. It's not the one I really want to be flying, but it's it might have to do in a pinch, you know.
Right.
It's got to be finished. This thing's so far behind, I don't know.
You know, Sparky might just insist that you sleep down there and don't come up to, or leave the shop till you finish.
Yeah. This is how I come up with the airfoil here. So
That's interesting.
So then I transfer this to the wood. And then I just cut the strip rib like an I-beam rib. And then I take it and glue it down in the slot. Hey, Bob.
Yes, sir.
Did you have any chance to mess with that tooling board?
I have not. I've been pretty busy with trying to get Stunt News up and running and catching up with the wing orders and trying to get my 2 airplanes ready for primer here.
Can I help you with Stunt News or anything? Or
What's that?
you need any help with Stunt News or any material?
We need all the help we can possibly get.
Yeah, Bob. You know, it's I'm still waiting if you need the graphics or any of that sort of stuff. I'm sitting in the wings.
Yeah. We you know, how about like coming up with a stylized Pampa logo?
Oh, okay.
You know, we can submit it. You know, and I'm pretty sure they'll let us do anything we want at this point. That
What-
we had that Steve Butho did some 40 years ago.
What I could use is if somebody can email me the current, the current logo with the triangle and the airplane in the middle and the stuff.
Yeah.
If somebody can email me a high-res version of that, I can use that as the basis to see what I can come up with.
I'll see what I can do. I don't know who has the actual original artwork, but perhaps Steve Busso has a copy of it, and I'm in touch with him quite often, so maybe I can get it from him.
Very good. Yeah, and then just shoot it over to me, and I'll start work on that.
Yeah. As far as you're concerned, Dan, you'll never hear me turn down help on Stunt News. What we really need are articles.
Okay.
You might want to do an article on what you're doing right here, you know?
Okay, I can do that. I can come up with material for you. Stuff to how-to articles.
Is that Chris Cox?
I think.
Yeah, that's Chris Cox.
Hey, Chris.
Yeah. It just took me about 20 minutes to figure out how to get into this thing.
Well, you connects are always a little slow, you know?
Oh, yeah, I'm in the dark.
Dan, I do have a question about the wing you're making, though.
Okay.
Hey, John.
How are you planning on excavating all that foam out of there? I mean, that's either going to be very, very messy or very, very careful so that you don't damage the balsa wood while you're trying to remove all that foam.
Yeah, I've done one of these before, and what I've done, I don't know if you can see this or not. Right here, it's cored out. Okay, so this is cored, and the leading edge to the spar is sheeted like a normal wing.
Okay.
Wing, okay. The trailing edge is sheeted maybe a ½ inch in.
But that still leaves you a lot of foam in between there with those rather fragile ribs.
Okay, so what you have to do is you just take a hot knife, usually like on a soldering iron, and you just start knocking it out, and you're picking it out, basically.
Okay.
What I've done to get the groove, I've had a couple sample pieces I was messing with. So how I get the groove in the foam for the ribs is I just take a soldering iron with a stop on it. You run it against the formica. Okay. That's how you melt your groove. So you don't actually plot ribs. All you do is melt grooves in the foam. And that's where the ribs set in the grooves. Like that.
Okay.
And this is what determines the profile you need for the you just run this over the top. That sets your profile to cut your strip rib. So it's a lot of work. It's I don't know if it's worth it or not, but it's it's something I wanted to try. So we'll see if it works out. The proof is in the pudding. The proof is in how much it's going to weigh, but a short answer, it's not an easy process. It's not really quick. All I'm trying to do is save a little bit of weight, and whether I'll be able to accomplish that, I'm not sure, but I'm going to try.
Yeah, no, my concern was, you have fairly fragile ribs and a lot of foam in there to dig out.
Yeah, I basically pretty much melt it out and then start digging it out, small pieces.
Hi, Tran.
Hey, Tran. Good to see you.
Hey, Bob. Hey, Bob.
Yo.
Dennis had a mission used one of these last week or the week before.
Yeah, you sent me a picture of that, and you said I need one.
Yeah. Your syringe is a great idea, but this thing's got this little tip on it. And it lays the perfect little bead on the wood. So I got it at Menards.
The syringes have a very, very fine outlet, so you can put an even finer bead in. That's kind of why I like those for joining sheeting. You can put a really fine bead glue in.
Yeah, this is pretty small. You might check it out. They're like $3 or $4 at the hardware store.
Yeah, actually, I've seen them. I might try one, but I really like the syringes because they're small and they're light and they're easy to really easy to control.
Yeah.
So whatever you get used to,
I'm going to try the syringe. I'm going to get one of those and try it.
Yeah, it's the Monoject 412 is what I'm using, and you get a bag of them, 50 of them for about $20.
Oh wow.
And I've only used about 3 of them. For a year's period. I clean them out and I keep using them. And I snip off the end so I have a different size bead out of each one of them, depending on what I'm using it for.
Okay.
Okay, so tell me what you're doing there. What kind of construction is that? I never saw it before.
Well, foam, sort of like, I guess.
It looks like a foam, but you leave the foam in there.
No.
Yes, but the foam's going to disappear in the base. So all I'm doing with the foam is actually using it to form the ribs, because once I get these ribs glued in, then what I do, I take a razor plane and I razor plane these ribs down to the foam.
Okay.
If I can find my razor plane. And
I know what a razor plane is, yes.
so once I get it to this stage, I leave the ribs really thick and tall. That way I can handle them. I can get to them.
Move the camera back a little bit so we can get a better view of what you're doing there.
Or higher, actually.
Yeah. So then once I get it pretty close, so that right there, that's just like an I-beam rib. So then it's sheeted. It's going to be a D-tube leading edge. You'll have sheeting, and the sheeting will overlap the spar.
Okay.
It'll overlap these ribs.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And then what do you do? Put a cap strip on them?
yeah, there'll be a cap strip in between the leading and trailing edge. Trailing edge, and there'll be a small cap strip.
Mm-hmm.
And then all this gets removed. All this is melted away.
Oh, so you're gonna cut most of the foam off after that. I get it.
Yep. So then you're going to be left with a geodetic I-beam wing back here, and it's going to be cored out up here.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a hybrid wing, I guess. It's and then the spar, it's the grain and the spar runs this way.
Mm-hmm.
And then I put carbon toe and capped it with 2 pieces of carbon top and bottom.
Mm-hmm.
And then I compressed the carbon down in there and capped it with wood on the top and then sanded that.
You know what? You could probably use just unidirectional carbon and cut a strip of it and put it right on top of it, and that's it. Done.
Yeah, that
Without
would be
you don't have to dig in, you don't have to do any of that stuff, and it's plenty strong.
I think so. I just had the toe, the stuff that I used before. That's what I had, but yeah, the unidirectional was really good.
Mm-hmm.
So,
oh, you know what you can do with the toe? You can put it on a piece of wax paper and tape both ends and soak it in epoxy, right?
yeah.
And then get a credit card or something like that. Start on one end and just squeegee it out and flatten the toe.
Correct. Yep. Yep.
And then you put that on a sheeting, on a leading edge sheeting.
Yep.
Underneath it, and trim it off, press it in, and because it's wet, it's gonna glue on a balsa wood over there, on sheeting and everything else.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure how you do it, but it's flat. You have super flat, and it's not gonna be bulky, give you a big bump or anything like that.
Yeah. The way this is set up, it's like 3/16 square. And it doesn't really matter if it's bulky because then what you do, you cap it.
Mm-hmm.
So then you sand this cap flush, so it doesn't really.
So you're going to capture the uni between the 3/16 and the foam.
Correct, or the end grain. End grain
Okay.
balsa, carbon, and balsa.
Yeah.
So it captures the carbon.
Okay, yeah. In that case, what you can do, you know, if you want to keep it light, here's a cool trick, you know. Wet the unidirectional, and then take some paper towels and put it in between paper towels and eject most of the resin out. And only after that, just put it inside and dab it in with some with a brush. But just try to keep it as straight as possible, because if you have any wave in it, it's gonna deny all its strength. It has to stay straight.
What I did on the carbon toe to keep it straight, I CA'd the ends together.
Mm-hmm.
So that way, when I actually pulled the carbon toe tight and I raked the resin out of it, the toe maintained the straight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I use CA to hold it together at the end.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Like anything you can that's gonna hold it together.
Yeah,
will work.
But I was going to try to get this thing done tonight so I can put the sheeting on tomorrow.
Oh, you're making good progress there.
What plane
let me interrupt for a second, you guys. Who's next? Jeff Riley says, "Hi, stunt friends." And Craig says, "Charles, is there any way Bob can turn up his mic?" Don't know if Bob can do that. He might get closer to the mic.
Maybe
and then Mike Lonke says, "I regret that I only can have one like to give. LOL." So thank you very much, Mike. I know you've given me a like, even though you know me, and I know that's takes effort to do that. Appreciate it. And Jeff Riley says Dan should turn his phone horizontal so his picture is full screen.
Yeah, no kidding.
You want to try that, Dan?
These vertical videos are just
There you go.
Oh my God, we can see what we saw before plus a whole lot more.
So let me see if I can get this propped up.
Yeah, thanks. That's great.
Yeah.
Hey, Jeff, good tip. Thank you very much. See, the printing gallery is really
Dan, how are you doing the trailing edge? I mean, how are you getting it to fit?
It's 1/4 inch glued to the foam. And then
everybody insists with the vertical phones to everybody sees this stuff, right? Instead of seeing that.
Yeah.
So I just sand the angle. Sand the angle here.
Okay.
The only thing I glue is here and here. Because all this foam here gets removed.
Okay.
And it gets poured here. But then when it comes time to sheet it, I'll sheet the spar to the leading edge, and then I'll sheet the trailing edge back here, probably maybe a 1/2 inch or something like that.
Cool deal.
This sheeting will cover the trailing edge 1/4 inch and also the rib a little bit.
Neat deal.
So we'll see what turns out.
I have a stupid question.
I doubt that.
If you go through this whole work to have a foam wing and do all the stuff, why not have a nice tapered foam wing, which performs a little bit better in my opinion?
Well, you could do anything. You mean as far as taper?
Of course, yeah.
What do you mean by taper?
A tapered wing instead of a straight core.
Instead of a Hershey bar wing.
Oh, it's tapered. Yeah, it's tapered. Does it look straight on the camera?
Very straight.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it's a USA 1 wing. The root is looks like 11 3/8, 11 1/2, and then it's 8 1/2. So
okay, we're looking at the little end, so the distance makes it.
Right.
There you go.
Oh, there you
now
go.
we-
Yeah.
Okay, now you got it.
Yeah, it looks such a like it looks almost like it's a straight wing from that angle. I swear.
Yeah, I know. I see what you mean now. Yeah, no, but it's tapered.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Cool.
So
Very awesome.
I had my second session of flying this past weekend. I mean, actually yesterday.
How'd you do?
Well, yeah, it was windy, with gusty winds at
Just like here.
times. Um, it just flew through it just fine.
I figured it would.
I had only one time when I thought maybe, or I'm not just used to it to flying in gusts like that. But I think I wanted a little bit more turn in it. I mean, just it felt a little bit sluggish in a wind. So I was thinking about just taking and I also losing a little bit of energy to it. So I was thinking about just take some flaps out of it because I still have plenty of corner and add some elevator. So by taking the flaps out, I'm gonna reduce the drag by quite a bit, and adding the elevator is gonna give me the corner that I want.
Yeah.
But
It's hard to believe that plane needs any more turn. Wow.
When will you guys be able to fly, Chris?
Gosh, it was beautiful out today. I could have gone out model flying today, but I elected to go fly big airplanes instead of small airplanes. But I'm in building mode right now, so when I'm in building mode, I don't really get all fired up to go fly. I'm more in the shop and doing that.
I don't think a lot of the people here know a whole lot about your personal life and what you did for a living. I think that would be really interesting for people if you told them some of your personal background. I've always found it interesting.
Well, I don't do anything for a living. I'm retired.
Well, what you did for your living.
Man, if I was retired today, I'd be outside flying because it's right here today, 70 degrees, a light breeze. It can't get sunny as sunny can be. It can't get any better than that.
You beat us by 10 degrees.
What you did, Chris.
What did I do?
Yeah.
Yes. What did you do?
Well, I was a pilot for the federal government, and I managed the flight department here in the West Coast, and I did all the training, all the government pilots and competency checks and all that good stuff, and managed the flight department. And,
didn't you fly?
So, it was the best job in the government.
One of those big amphibians that drops the water. Didn't you fly one of those?
Yeah, I did a little bit of that a bunch of years ago, and I flew PBYs or TANSCOs. I don't know what you call them in the States. PBYs, I guess, for several years, and I was bird dog for several years. And then when I was with the government, I was doing check rides, and I actually got to fly the Martin Mars. So that was definitely one of the highlights of my career, flying a Mars. I don't know if people are aware of what the Mars is, but it's a large airplane. Big flying boat, yeah. But now I'm retired, and Jonah and I built our own RV7 that Bob's going to go fly in someday when he comes out here.
Yeah, I figured I gave you a ride on my Hayabusa. You got to give me a ride in your airplane.
It's there for you. It's there for you, Bob. And we just recently put a little air coupe together, my son and I, and been flying that for the last few months. I thought I was flying that today, so that's quite a little airplane, 1946, and no rudder pedals. It's really fun.
That's nice, Chris. I saw some videos of you flying it.
Yeah.
So
I haven't
Chris,
flown a model since probably December or November.
So Chris, you working on a stunner?
Yeah, I'm putting another Hellcat together. I was going to build a MiG, but then I kind of changed midstream there. We were putting together, as Train knows, we were putting together some composite, trying to do. We got a good composite wing now. It's working, and we're working on the fuselage and that. And I was having more questions than answers, so I told my two partners, "Well, you guys carry on while I put together another Hellcat also with fuselage."
You say you changed the big screen?
What's that?
You say you changed in MIG stream? You said midstream.
I got it.
MIG stream.
Yeah. Yes, MIG Street. Yeah, that's not bad, though.
It's an East Coast.
You gotta say it right.
Yes, I'm painting. It's in the paint process now, and but I got being retired, like everybody knows. Anyone who's retired is so freaking busy with about 10 other projects on the go at any given time, and it's not easy being retired. You got to get organized.
No, you don't.
Do you wonder how you ever had time to work? That's the situation I'm in. I retired. Now I'm wondering how I ever had time to work.
How about it?
Well, and I worked at home and worked in the evenings on all the stuff, but now I don't maybe do the evenings quite so hard. I maybe sit more time with Joan watching TV in the evening, but during the day it's go, go, go. So, yeah.
I'll tell you a funny story.
But I sure hope our border. I sure hope the COVID thing goes away soon and the borders open up, because I miss you guys. I want to get back down south and start doing some flying.
Yeah. Well, the regional's on in September, so maybe they'll have it open by then.
I like that. The May was not going to work. I know it wasn't going to work for me. But the regionals in September might. My fingers are crossed for the Nats, but it might be too close. We're way behind the U.S. as far as getting our vaccines go. Way behind.
You in Canada?
But now, yeah. Well, we won't talk politics, but it got screwed up pretty bad. We're behind.
Yeah.
So.
That might be okay because it's going to be tested on everybody else.
Well, that's true.
Yeah, we're beta testing for you.
Yeah.
Let me interrupt for a second, you guys. Jeff Riley says, cool, now I can see his shop is almost as big of a mess as mine. LOL. And my shop's probably just as bad, Dan. So we're making fun of you, but our shops are pretty congested too. And I want to
that's why you have a curtain behind you.
Say hi to Carl and hi Mike. Thanks for coming in, Mike. And hi Eddie. Thanks for coming in, Eddie. And Steve Hines is coming in. So, and hi John. I don't know if I said hi to you, John.
Hi, how back.
Hey,
So
y'all probably already, some of you's probably already seen this before, but I just got it today and I thought it was pretty darn cool.
What's that?
I don't know if you can see it or not. It's
Carbon
carbon fiber iron-on.
Oh, okay. That stuff is cheap.
Is that Hangar 9 or Ultra Coat?
It's Hong Kong Fuis.
Oh, okay.
Hong Kong too.
Okay.
So maybe it's like that. I think Ultra Coat makes it, and it was like $27 a roll or something.
So yeah, it was like 20 something bucks for this little roll here. But it was it said it cleared customs and departed the 1st, and I got it in the mail today.
Oh, that's not bad.
It never showed that it arrived and all that. I think they just shipped it straight here. I don't know.
Well, remember, Eddie, there's only one hobby: spending money.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. Eddie, I saw somebody that made a very nice plane. Was on Facebook, and he made a very nice plane with the touches of carbon fiber here and there. He just strategically placed them in certain spots, and it looked really nice. You know,
Well,
so I think
that's the only reason I got this, just for highlights and here and there. You know, not to cover the whole wing or nothing like that, but just
that'd be too much. I agree. That would be too much.
Yeah.
And when you have usually when you do composites, you know, like that, leaving the grain exposed with no paint on top of it, it looks so nice. because it looks like a waves of gold, only it's black, right? But it
Yeah.
reflects in all kinds of directions, and
Yes,
and
it's
it
got a
looks very
prism
nice.
effect. But, yeah.
Yep, it does. That's why I'm staying away from painting stuff, other than some stripes and some little touches of accents here and there.
So is that used for strength more than anything else?
No, it's covering.
It's monocoat. It's same
Oh,
as
it's
monocoat.
Yeah, this
monocoat,
is just
okay.
iron on.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's just heel and stick, iron on.
Have you guys ever considered maybe making a wing using carbon fiber tubes? Because you can just use a segment of tube from tip to tip, or even two segments, put the ribs on, and you're ready for, whatever else.
We actually did that. We did one for Werewolf that way. It worked out okay.
Was the tube too heavy, or what was the okay part?
Actually, we made a tube spar that fit into the fuselage and had little split ring holders so we could remove it when we wanted to. And then we, instead of putting a receptacle in, which would have been heavy, we just put plywood around the ribs at the end of the tube and at the root of the tube. And then it only had the root and the actual end of the tube supported. In the center, it doesn't matter. The tube's not going to bend anyway. So it took out some weight. But if you made the tube go full span, it would be too heavy.
Yeah. Have you ever tried some of those fishing rod segments? And actually, there are some other tubes that weigh nothing, Bob. They I can show you one.
They don't weigh nothing. They weigh something, but
trust me on this one.
They don't weigh nothing. Everything weighs something.
Yeah. Hey, Steve.
Hey. Hey, Steve. Good to see you. I hadn't seen you.
Hey, did you get your package today, Phil?
I sure did, and I got a question. I didn't have a chance to open it yet, but how come I get my motors and it takes me 3 weeks to get the darn things, and you can send me something in 3 days?
Because they paid $5 to ship it, and I paid $49.
Ooh.
Golly,
wow.
I didn't have time to look at the shipping charges on it, but wow.
That's the reason why.
Yeah, but I tell you what, I got it today, and thank goodness my daughter was on the porch, because I believe my mail lady would have just chucked it, except she was out there, so she walked up, laid it on the front porch. That never happens, but she laid it on the front porch, and I went out and got it, and the box is still undented, so apparently everything got here fine. It's been a busy day.
I was going to say there was. When I sent it, the box had one dent in it from when the box was sent to me on the bottom side of it, but that was it. Just one little dent.
Yeah, but I didn't worry about that. Could tell that wasn't enough to worry about. Anyway.
Here's a box I got today from Elliot Scott. I have both of it.
Oh,
holy smoke.
Fuck. Wow, that's a shame.
Oh, no.
Wow.
And the balsa wood came out okay. There was no cracks in it.
Good.
Wow.
I have one question for you, Bob.
Yeah.
Who at the post office did you tick off?
Here you go, Bob.
It looks like somebody. It looks like somebody sit on the thing.
Here you go, Bob.
Making somebody mad.
This
I pictured that before I opened it, and then when I opened it, the balsa had actually bent in there, but it didn't break, so it was good.
Boy, that's lucky. You got lucky. I wouldn't have been that lucky. Go ahead, Charles.
Okay, Carl.
So, Bob, this.
Carl, hang on, Tryon. Carl, go ahead, Carl. Carl, can you hear me, Carl? Go ahead. Oh, we can't hear you. You got to unmute your mic. Your mic's muted. There you go.
No, I had nothing to say. I was just.
You muted your mic again. You muted your mic again.
No, I was just trying to messed with the icon and I messed up, so I'm
Oh,
sorry.
no problem. No problem. And by the way, speaking of that, Chris, I know you're new. Are you using a PC or a Mac? What are you using, Chris?
It's my iPad.
Your iPad. I don't know how to use an iPad, but the PC is down in the lower left corner. You have a couple icons, and one is the first one. I mean, the last one all the way to the far left is to chat amongst each other. We can write, you can send PMs to each other, and then there's this share screen, and there's a hand where if you want to say something and you can't get your word in anyways, like most of us can't get in there, you hit that, and I will get the attention, and I will go ahead and say, go ahead and speak now. And of course, the closed caption, I've never used that, so. But
Clever.
that's what's going on.
Oh, it's a hand.
Charles, did you get anything that made you wonder tonight? When you
I took inventory. Actually, Joe Mata, the guy that I'm flying with, besides Carl and Keith, and we have some other guys we fly with, but Joe Mata came with me, and I knew I didn't have enough stuff. I knew I didn't have enough room in my Blazer for everything because he stipulated take it all or none, So I got some help from another guy, and we was just cycling it in and out of this house, putting it in my car and his vehicle. And then I haven't taken inventory of it yet. I just saw what some of the boxes had on the outside, but that doesn't necessarily mean that was inside the box.
Wow.
Like I saw an RC plane, but it might be empty. It might be full of some other stuff. So,
yeah. No,
I'll talk more about it in the after party.
Is this the stuff I turned you on to, Charles?
Yes, Mike, it's the stuff you turned me on to. And in all fairness, John Jordan, if you're listening, I did get your call or your voicemail. So here I'm in San Diego. There's a guy in San Diego giving all this stuff for free. And the first one to get my attention is Mike Lonke. And he's saying, hey, Charles, you need to check this out. This guy's giving away stuff and it's free. And then I got a voicemail from John Jordan. But yeah, I went to the guy's house and picked up all this stuff. This guy's leaving the state. And you know how difficult it is to move and all that. Plus, I guess he's just out of control line. So I picked up a bunch of stuff. I mean, that's
yeah, I want half, Charles.
I told you after we get divorced, that'll be in the divorce decree. I interrupted Tryon. Tryon, you wanted to say something to Tryon? Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to show this kind of stuff. These are like carbon fiber tubes.
Let me make you big.
And you got it?
Yeah.
So these are carbon fiber tubes. They're super light. You're looking at this section here. It's about 1 meter long. At the root, it's about 3/4 of an inch. At this end, it's about 3/8 of an inch.
Oh.
So it's a large piece of tube, but it weighs like 15 grams. So if you cut one end to make like one wing panel, we'll probably end up like 11 grams worth of tube inside your wing. So now you can put your like ribs on it and stuff like that, and it actually works as a torsion bar as well as a spar. So it has like a double function.
What's your wall thickness on that?
This is very thin. I think it's about I don't have my it's about 10 thousandths or so, if that.
Oh wow!
And I got some stuff here that's very rigid, but it's too heavy. Carbon is not light.
No.
People think carbon is light. Carbon is heavy. It's just that you don't need very much of it in order to make something stronger.
True.
And it's not the answer for everything.
No.
I didn't say that. No.
Wouldn't it be better if it's tapered?
At the Nats about 3 years ago, we had a guy here.
Guys, one at a time. One at a time. Bob was still talking, Steve. Hang on. Go ahead, finish, Bob. Go ahead, Bob. And then next, I want John Miller. He wants to say something next. So go ahead, Steve.
What it is that he made the fuselage out of square tubing. it was pretty cool how he did it. And I got a picture, but I don't know how to get it off of my phone onto here. And he made 2 or 3 of them, and he brought them to the Nats and showed everybody. And it was real light square tubing, and he built the wing around it. So everything was in line except the tail was set up on top of that square tubing. And that thing flew real well, and it was light too. But the piece of carbon fiber tubing that thin was $100 for one piece of tubing. Ooh. So it's, you know, he was trying it, but it's really expensive for that really super light tubing.
But you can make it yourself if you are really fanatic.
Yeah, you can make something like that. But yeah, it was done. I'm done. I just wanted to tell everybody about that.
Go ahead, John.
Okay, I'm glad Dennis showed up. I got this in the mail today, Dennis. This is the electric conversion for the little Ellie. And congratulations. I think it's an excellent job. Excellent job. It, I mean, where to go now? Oh, it slipped down here. Just look at the, look, there we go. Look at the, there's the motor. It's 2 pieces put together for the motor mount. I'm very impressed, Dennis, and it's I think it's a value at $13.99. I assume that when I look, a lot of the what this is a kit to take some of the normal engine IC planes, stunt planes, convert them to electric, and yeah, if you. Anyway, I'm very impressed. I just wanted to get the word out and let people see what it was.
Thanks a lot, John, for checking in with that. Yeah, Little Ellie is a cute design that really underappreciated. You know, there are people who like building smaller airplanes and stuff like that. They really ought to be looking at the Little Ellie because it's got all the modern stuff in a really small package. It ought to fly like crazy. So.
Yeah, one piece of hair there must have flopped the wrong way.
Hey guys, I have a question for you. Do any of you have a tough time putting this stuff together? Or is there a trick to it?
Yeah, what's the trick?
I'm asking if there's a trick to it.
What is
it? I think with me it's a lot of swearing and cussing and throwing. And then,
that's not the trick, Steve.
Yeah, that's the trick. I finally get it together. If you put Vaseline on it, it'll slide right on, but then it spins, the arbor spins inside of it.
Yeah.
What is that?
What is it?
Sanding drum for a Dremel.
Sanding drum for a Dremel.
Oh.
They're good for one time. The first time they slide in, after you force them in, and you go to change it, you can't slide another one on.
What I do is I spit on them. I wet the arbor, and then it slides on, and then it will evaporate.
Yeah, you can probably try alcohol Windex. Probably does the same thing.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Now, Tryon, this is a dumb question. You are loosening the screw, right?
No, I leave it real tight. Bob, you are a genius.
Oh, no, they don't loosen the screw over in Europe. He wasn't taught that as a kid.
I spit on it. It works brilliant. Bob, you're awesome, man. I knew it would keep you here for something.
73 years and I've learned it all.
You go on? You got it on already, Tryon?
Yep.
Yeah.
Hang on a second, you guys. Carl, are you leaving, Carl?
No. I got a question.
Okay.
Okay. I got these fewers, right?
Okay.
And this one has a red nipple that you can screw in the end of this. Can you all see that?
Let me make you big. Hang on.
I'll raise it up.
Bring it up.
Oh, there it is.
Raise it up.
All right. What happened here? Something
You're there.
happened.
There you are.
No, you're good.
You're good.
Oh, okay. All right. Can you see that?
No, you gotta raise it up.
Now we see
There
it.
you go.
Raise it up.
Raise it
Raise
up.
it
Yeah,
up.
raise it up.
Raise them
Oh,
both
okay,
up.
there it is.
There you
There you
go.
go.
See that?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, and what this does, this screws into here like this.
Yep.
So it's easy to hook up your fuel tubing.
Yeah.
What's
Have any of you guys seen these before?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Not the one
Okay.
that twists on.
Okay. Okay, where can you buy them?
Google
Because I checked
plastic.
Brodak, I checked
Supply.
Top Flight, and I also went to Tower Hobbies, and I can't find them. And this one here was given to me by one of the other pilots that we fly with, about 10 years ago.
Try eBay.
You can get them. You can get them without having to get the screwy piece. They have
Carl,
them.
Carl.
Yeah.
I use those all the time because we fill bladders, and it's called
Right,
a
that's what I
lure.
use it for.
It's called a lure tip. LEUR. It's called the lure tip. LEUR. It's a lure tip.
LUER.
Syringe.
You can buy them on. You can find them on eBay, but you generally got to buy pretty big quantities to get them cheap. But I'll tell you who
Yeah.
sells them is Melvin from MBS, from Model Builder Supply. Melvin Schutte sells those because all the speed guys and the racing guys and the combat guys, we use bladders in our applications all the time. So he's always at the Nats. You know, he sells a little
Right.
5-pack of lure tips for like $2 or something. But you can
Oh,
buy
okay.
them on Melvin's site, Model Builders Supply, lure tips.
Okay.
He has them.
Okay.
I tend to buy them like 50 at a time on eBay from medical supply places.
Okay.
But it's you want a barbed tip that fits on a syringe, that screws on a syringe.
Right.
That one
Right.
looks a little
Well,
fancier.
it's not actually a barb. It's just flat on the end there.
No, but it's a barb on the other side
Correct.
to hold the tubing on.
So if I go to a medical supply shop, would they have them? You think?
But just eBay lure tip. I mean that's the easiest
Well, because
way.
we have a medical supply shop here in El Cajon.
They
sells
might
medical. Okay.
They
all right.
they may have them. I don't know what the intended purpose is. I don't know if it's for like home medical supplies or if it's something that's in a hospital or something like that.
Okay.
I don't know.
Veterinary.
Go ahead,
Veterinary.
John.
For animals, veterinary.
For
veterinary
veterinary.
medical supplies.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what
And
the
what- and
actual
what was the-
application is.
Right. And what was the name of that company you just mentioned?
MBS, Model Builder
MBS.
Supply. That's
Supply,
Melvin
okay.
Schutte. And he is on Stunt Hangar. I believe Melvin's on Stunt Hangar. He should be
Okay.
in the vendor
All right.
section.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, they're cheap. Melvin sells them for like 40 cents a piece. And if you buy them on eBay 50 at a time, like I do, I pay about 20 cents a piece for them or something like that with free shipping.
All right.
Are you using them to fill bladders? Is that what you're using them for? Or?
Well, I have 2 combat ships. I use them to fill bladders, and I also use them to fill up a couple wedge tanks with them.
Wedge tanks. What are you using for pinchers on your bladders, if I can ask?
Well, you're gonna laugh at this, but just because it's just easier for me, you know these clamps you can buy at Home Depot. Here, let me get one.
Well, I'm getting something too.
Oh, I'm sorry.
All right. Bob, if I may complete
Okay, you
your
still there?
idea. Oh, are you guys done?
Yeah, I'm still here. I was getting something to show you as well.
Okay.
If you're using bladders, because I use them a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. See,
Okay.
this is what this is what I use right here, just because it's just easier for me to grab a hold and take it off the fuel line.
Okay. Can I show you something else?
Sure.
Can I show you something else that works? And I got a couple of different styles here, but these are IV slide clamps, is what they call them. So they're for an IV line with the hospital. It's called a slide clamp, IV slide clamp.
Oh,
and
okay.
with these, let me grab a bladder real quick. So I use these on my half A's, my speed limits, even my Nelson. The fuel line goes right through, so the bladder's in the compartment. This goes to the engine. I leave the slide clamp right on there. That's open. And then before starting, that's it. The line is pinched shut, so you don't have another tool that you have to use or hold. It's a one-handed operation because you can hold the fuel line like this, take it off and pinch it with your finger while you're starting, and then just let go, and this stays right on the line. The other thing that it helps with, anyway, in my opinion, is if you go down during a match, your pitman can pick up the airplane and just cut off the fuel just by doing that, rather than having to try to pinch it or put hemostats on it or put some kind of clamping device, because this just stays right on the tubing all the time. And it's out there dangling. It doesn't really affect the flight characteristics, but they're easy.
And is that for medium? Is that for medium-sized tubing?
It'll work for medium. This is half A tubing that's on here, but it'll work for medium. The hole is still big enough for medium-sized tubing.
All right.
And I've got a friend that's a nurse in California, and she saves them up all year long, and then she sends me, like 50 of them a year or whatever.
Oh, there you go.
Got a whole bucket full of them.
What would you call that thing that screws in?
A lure tip. I think it's L-E-U-R or L-U-E-R.
L-U-E-R.
Yeah, lure tip.
Lure tip, okay.
Carl, if you were interested in trying some of these, I can send you some if you give me your address. I'll put a couple in an envelope and ship them out.
All right. I'll even do. What would you like? Would you like for me to pay for them?
No, man. All I gotta do is I can put 5 of them in an envelope and with a stamp, they'll get there. But just try them because it's a little less clunky than using a big clamp or hemostat or anything
well, the
else.
other reason why I use this because they're available at Home Depot, and Home Depot's just down the street. You know what I mean?
Sure.
It was more of a availability is what I was going after. But
there's still plenty of guys using hemostats and other types of clothesline pinchers and stuff.
Yeah.
I just like the fact that it stays on the model.
Yeah.
And it's a one-hand operation. You can do it with one hand once you get used to it. That's all.
Right.
So I'll send you a couple and you try them out. If you don't like them, you know.
You want my address now?
Are you on Stunt Hangar?
Yeah, he's on right here.
So he up
yeah. Just send me a private message with your mailing address.
No, I'll get it to you, Mike.
I'm sorry?
I'll get it to you.
Okay, all right.
I know Carl's address, and I'll get it to you.
Okay, Charles will text it to me. That'll be fine.
Okay, great. All right, thank you. Appreciate that.
Can I jump in real fast here?
Where'd Steve go?
Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you now.
Back when I was flying,
You hear me, Phil?
I was using the same idea as what Mike's got, but we just used those perfect line connectors. You know, the slider line connectors?
Oh, yeah, those are great.
Yeah.
You just stick the tube through the wide end there, and you just slide it on, and you don't even have to drag it those other ones. It's just a little metal clip.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's true. I have used those, but the problem is I don't have the coordination to work with small stuff like that. You know what I mean?
You're right about that, Chris. Chris, you're right about that. The slider connector can work as well.
Exactly.
But man, if you got fingers like sausages, it's kind of hard to manipulate these. Now, the one trick I did see, Howard Shenton cut them in half and soldered a metal thumbtack to one end, and then they're a little more user friendly. And you got to use the bigger one. You got to use the big one.
Yeah.
I mean, there's 100 different ways to do it. You just find whatever works for you. You know, in my experience in combat, those IV clamps are just the way to go. I won't use anything else.
Hey, Charles.
Yeah, Carl.
We're getting a lot of ancillary noise over the.
I know. I'm trying to find it. I muted. I just muted somebody. I just muted Dennis. Denny. I wasn't sure if it was you, Denny, and that wasn't you. So you have to unmute yourself. And now it's quiet. I don't know what's going on. But
Was
yeah,
it when I was talking? Is this when I'm talking? Does it get really bad?
No.
I went down to low bandwidth on my settings, so.
No, you're fine, Mike.
I think it's the heater in my shop. I turned off my mic.
I thought it was. I rebooted.
I'm
Bob.
using earphones. Would that cause a problem?
No.
I know.
It's actually better.
But
earphones are great.
Good now.
Sounds better now.
Sounds good now.
Yeah.
Let me interject what's going on in the chat box. Okay, so Frank Model Aviation Workshop. Boom, chicka pop. Good stuff, Charles. LOL. He's referring to me munching on this stuff. Boom, chicka pop. As the host of the show, I don't really talk a lot, so I just eat a lot. And he caught me.
Got your popcorn already, huh?
Yeah, and then Brent Williams says, "Hi guys," and then Frank's Model Aviation Workshop says, "Hey Charles, I'm finally building a green box snowbird to replace my dad's." Awesome. I think
That is awesome.
Frank, you did comment on my YouTube channel a year or so ago, and you liked my Nobler. I have a video of me flying the Nobler at the I think it was the Palmer Memorial out here in California. But that's great, Frank. Fantastic. The Nobler is the very first control line plane I ever saw fly in my life. I was a little kid riding my bicycle to the local YMCA recreation center, and there was a guy in the Navy flying a control line ship. He was a real nice man, had babies for kids, and he befriended me, and he got me started. And he was flying a green box Nobler, and so I have a affection toward that plane.
I have
So
a very similar story.
9 likes, and we've had 20 viewers. So please, if you haven't hit the thumbs up button, please do that. That helps the of the channel, and hopefully we get to become a recommended view, and people will see us, and we can grow this hobby and bring attention to it. So that's why I keep hammering to give us thumbs up. We're a small community, but I think if we have like 100% participation of giving a thumbs up, that I might get someone's attention, and we can grow from there. So please give us a thumbs up. It does make a difference, and we appreciate it in advance. So thank you very much. Go ahead, guys.
Charles, did you notice you got a thumbs up tonight before you ever came online? You were on there doing a monologue.
Yeah, I could count. I saw 4 of them. I could account for Tom and Mike Lonkey, and there's 2 I couldn't count. Thank you very much, Paul.
Paul.
Yeah. You should talk, Carl. You should talk. Carl calls me Richard all the time when we go flying. Isn't that right, Carl? He's calling me Richard. I go, who is Richard?
Oh, I do not. No, yeah, I did. I don't know why I did that, but I had the hardest time calling me Charles. And it's just pin and pun that we go back and forth. But I've gotten a lot better though, right?
Yes, you have.
We can just call him Richard from now on, and just everybody's happy. Except for Charles, of course.
Yeah, I'll just get the AMA personalized Richard on my wing, and he'll help him out.
Oh Lord.
So guys,
The alternative.
can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead, Tryon.
Sure.
So what I found out is that right on this front edge on this rubber that's on the Dremel tool inserts, it has like a little bit of a flash from the molding right here, and the combination of what Bob said, just I'm taking this and just sanding it off like this just to break in that flash.
That's a good idea.
And after that, what Bob
It
said,
is a good idea.
just get it wet and.
What's the problem you're having?
That was a great idea. Look at that. It's super easy. Perfect. Insertion.
They're always easy.
That was a great idea, Bob, by the way. Awesome. But I think if you sand the edge off, no question. No problems. Thank you.
You got a thumbs up, Bob.
What's that?
I say you got a thumbs up out of it.
How about several of them?
Out of Romanian.
I think Bob's got to go to bed here. He's making me sleepy with all the yawning going on there.
Yeah.
Well,
man works hard.
It's East Coast, man. This is
What
like
is that back
11
in the
o'clock
corner,
here.
Bob?
Huh?
On the top. What's the plane on top?
That's Buddy Weeder's Ryan's Eagle.
Oh, okay. I have seen that plane.
Yeah.
Pretty plane.
Frankie Pies. Anybody know Frankie Pies? Nobody knows Frankie. Boy, I feel old.
Oh.
Frankie was a hot shoe flyer in the Union Club when I was this kid back in the 50s. And,
Won the Nat.
And he was actually the national champion in combat in junior in 1961. But at any rate, he and Buddy Weeder were very good friends. And when Buddy passed away, Betty wanted to get rid of all his stuff, and Frankie asked me if he could purchase one of Buddy's airplanes. So he sent Betty a check for it, but he lives out of Texas, and he can't get up there right now because of COVID and everything. So he asked me if I could store it for him until he had a chance to get up here. So that's why it's up there.
Yeah,
And
I
next
didn't
to it-
realize he passed
right
away.
next to it, on the other side of it, is let's see if I can. I gotta move these on the other side. This airplane up here on top. It's the airplane that John DeTeo was working on here. Come down once a week and spend a day, and that was the airplane he was working on when he passed away.
Wow.
Yeah, that's neat. John was a pretty cool guy.
That's going to go to his son Nick DeTavio.
I saw him
I miss
launch
him.
at the Nationals. At his age, he bent at the waist and launched the plane. Blew my mind.
Yeah.
I can't do that, and I'm a lot younger than he was. And I
Yeah,
see doodads.
You bend over.
I was watching some videos that Charles put on his website with Wendy's videos in 2006 or 2009 or something like that. And I was looking over there. I was like, man, how many people are missing from that bunch over there? Just like, it's unbelievable. So many of them.
Yeah.
It's just like I look at Jacobonian and I was like, oh man, I miss him.
Well, Rich,
Lampione.
Rich did not pass away. Rich is still with us. He's afflicted. He had a stroke and he can't talk, but he's still with us. And actually, he's not doing too bad physically.
Oh, okay.
Well, I'm glad to hear that anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just can't speak.
Yeah, but it's still a bunch of the.
Well, Lampione, we lost Lampione. We lost DeTavio. We lost Buddy Weeder. We lost quite a few up here.
Wild Ben.
Phil, you talking about him bending over at the waist and launching his plane? I can't even bend at the waist and touch my waist.
Well,
okay, here comes Jim Smith, you guys. Make room for Jim.
I haven't been able to bend over and touch my toes since junior high school, and I went to a doctor and asked him why. I said, well, all these stretches and everything I do, I should be able to do that. And he says, you know why you're so tall? I said, no. He says, because you've got 5 vertebrae in your back instead of 4. He said, if you bend over and touch your toes, you're going to break something. So I haven't worried about it ever since. I haven't worried about it ever since. I just let it go. Some things I just can't do.
You guys, if I can make an announcement, we're at 16 people in this space right now. So we might need to be patient with each other because there's 16 of us in here trying to talk. So just be patient.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where'd Heinz go?
Well, I went on Amazon
He dropped
and
out a while back.
I did buy some stuff from over there. They have a bunch of kits, but in particular, I really like this kits on which you have a bunch of sanding discs and with the stuff inside there. They also come with this diamond wheels to cut steel. Inside the kit for the Dremel tool, also came up with these wheels. They're really nice.
You watch your fingers when you use those.
Yeah. So obviously, I buy a bunch of these drums, sanding drums that I have here. I'm not sure if you saw this. This is the disc with the shafts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I also got this one. This particular kit I really like. And as you can see, these are all 1/8" shanks, and you have different endings on, and it's all carbide.
Yeah.
This is all carbide, and they're pretty nice, man. I mean, just like for
you got that
$10
at what store?
Those are very useful.
at Amazon.
Amazon. Okay.
Yes.
Look on Amazon tomorrow.
So you can get a bunch of this. I mean, like honestly, they gave me some drill bits, but this is nothing, you know. This is the stuff I was looking for.
That's neat.
And in particular, I needed to sand off something like you drill a small hole, you open it up so you can put your landing gear inside or whatever, you know. If you screw up like I did. I didn't realize that that landing gear had one leg that's shorter, one is longer. So when I drill a holes, I just drill one hole. Actually, I put two holes side by side. And I did it on the drill press, and I could have done a nice job on drilling both holes. But then I put one hole. I said, I'm done, right? And I thought the landing legs go like this, but actually they went like that.
Yeah.
And I needed two holes side by side to do it. And I was like, man. so now I'm trying to hack something up. You know,
That's why God created dowels.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I put a dowel pin back there anyways. Yes, it's there, Bob. So that's that. So I needed I needed a Dremel tool to get the job done, and I mean these are really nice, you know.
Yeah.
Carbide bits.
And these are have a double sharpening on them, so it's doesn't look like the fluid is one direction, in both directions.
Bob Violet. Oops, there we go.
I killed my Dremel here about 6 months ago, and I think we talked about it on the show about how I killed my Dremel, and I don't know. I think it might have been Steve told me take it apart and clean the armature up and polish it. It wasn't the brushes. There was a bunch of goo on the armature itself. But in the meantime, I just went down to Harbor Freight and I bought one of their cheap ones for $20, and then I came home and I cleaned up my Dremel and got it working just fine. But I got the $20 Harbor Freight one just as a standby in case. It's good to have a backup, because when your Dremel goes down and you need it, you're kind of stuck if you got to have it. So I would say go buy a $20 Harbor Freight one with the coupon, and it's just sitting on the shelf here, but I know it's there if my Dremel ever takes a dump on me again.
Any of you guys ever use the Black & Decker hand tool?
Yeah.
No, just a Dremel for me.
Yes, it's better.
I've burned up so many Dremels, and the Black & Deckers last so much longer.
Oh, good tip.
Well, Bob, you know, my first Dremel lasted me about 7 years, and my second one only lasted like 2 years. But once I took it apart, there was like, I don't know if it was varnish on there or oil, or it just had a whole bunch of junk on the armature.
Yeah, balls and dust, all sorts of stuff gets in there.
Yeah,
Nice.
and once I polished it and cleaned it up, it works fine again. Because
There's
the
What's
first
that called, Bob? Is a Black and Decker what?
RTX 3-speed.
no, somebody else is holding one up too. Charles is
Actually,
holding one up.
It actually has multiple speeds. You know.
Well, that's Howard Rush.
Black and Decker.
Oh, that's Howard.
Howard Rush. No, it's not plugged in.
You guys, let me interrupt for a second here. I got a little announcement. Dan Winship says my battery is about to die. Tell everyone good night from me, and great show tonight, Dan. Thanks, Dan. Thank you for coming in.
Thanks, Dan.
And,
Take care of yourself.
You're good, Daniel.
and I really think this is the first time we have had 18 people in this space. So this is amazing, 18. So again, be patient with each other.
So, Chris, how's progress there?
Don't say that.
Chris, how's progress on your endeavor?
Well, like I said before, I've kind of stopped working on the composite fuselage. I was detecting a few issues that I wasn't sure how to solve. So I've moved on and building another molded balsa fuselage for my Hellcat. Well, my other two partners, I thought I'd let them. They can be the guinea pigs. They were letting me charge ahead and do it all, and I got tired of being the guy that's gonna. Anyhow, I'm painting the Hellcat now. It's coming along real nice. It's going to be quite a nice airplane. So
Hey,
I'm excited about it.
Charles, we have 18 people on here, but we have half the control line stunt flyers in Canada on here too.
The Canadian stunt team is with us.
There's a whole bunch of. There's a bunch of.
Where's Lynn? Is Lynn with us? We need Lynn.
Yeah, Lynn's here. Yeah, Lynn's here, and Jim Smith, he wants to say something. So go ahead.
Yeah, just a couple of announcements. I get up early, but John Miller, I've got my little comment. I'll have the.
Hang on, Jim. Hang on a second, Jim. We can barely hear you. Can you get closer to the microphone? We can barely hear you.
Somebody needs to stop sanding too, or mute their mic.
Is that good?
Try it again.
Is that better?
Kinda, not much, but we can hear you now.
All right.
There you go.
The little ME-163 Comet, I will have the controls set up to show you, and I've learned how to use my iPad where I can actually direct, where you can see what I'm doing.
Oh, cool.
So I'll have that Friday. I'll try to get in on Friday. And Bob or anybody else, Bob, you used the base coat and you gave him the name Colo Guard or something like that.
Chromaseal.
Chromaseal, yeah, that's right. I wrote it down. I have looked all over the place for Chromaseal. I don't know if it's a discontinued product.
I think they changed the name. When DuPont went to, I think it's Exalta now or something, they changed the name of a lot of their products.
Okay. Well, Lynn and I are going to be doing a base coat finish. And so with the base coat, we would like to have that adhesive. But because it's a type of adhesive, right? Just to help bond the seal. It's a type of adhesive just to help bond the seal.
Huh? Are you talking about the adhesion coat?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Isn't that what that stuff is?
Yes, it's an adhesion coat. Essentially, what it does is it will bond to the substrate. The primer that's left, or the surface of the airplane, and then it will also grip the paint on the other side. It will make sure when you pull up your tape, you don't pull up the base coat with it.
Right. And so after the primer, we're going to use base coat. We're gonna try.
Well,
some
I use after the primer, I use this Chroma Seal, but they may have renamed it. But so if you go to a DuPont store, a paint store that handles DuPont products or Axalta products, ask them if they have a replacement product for Chroma Seal. CHROMASEAL.
All right, that sounds good.
It's an adhesion coat. But the thing about it is, when it's a two-part, it's a catalyzed product, and when you spray it on, it's not light, and it dries or cures as a semi-gloss, and then you can dry block sand the whole airplane until all the semi-gloss is gone. You get rid of it mats everything out, and you take about 90% of it off, and it looks almost translucent. It's almost like it's such a thin coat; it weighs nothing, and then the paint will stick to that.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I was just concerned that, when we start masking it off, that we'd have problems lifting the base coat. So.
Yeah, one of the things too that if you're having any kind of issues with pulling up the base coat as you're pulling up your tape, one of the things you can do is take a monocoat iron or heat gun, put it on the lightest setting, and just heat the tape lightly before you pull it up, and pull it back 180 degrees to itself, and then you won't peel up the paint.
Okay, all right.
It'll soften the adhesive on the back of the tape, so that it'll peel up without pulling up the base coat.
All right. Hey, Chris Cox, it's been years, brother, since I seen you. They got you guys quarantined.
I can't see you though. Where are you? I just see a black screen.
You see a JS because I'm in bed. I have to get up early.
He's probably naked.
Yeah.
Hey, Trey.
Thank God he blanked the screen.
We don't want to see that.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to unsee.
Charles, I don't want to be rude, but I need to go watch a hockey game. So I'm a
No
Canadian.
problem. Thanks so much.
It's too late for that, man.
You did it. You said you tried to come in, and you did it. I appreciate it. Spread the word that this is really a fun thing to do, and let's upgrow
really
this thing.
For the rest of you, Charles has been trying to get me here for the last several weeks, and I keep forgetting. So I had him phone me and tell me, give me an.
It's good to have you here, Cox.
He went to a fight and a hockey game broke out.
That's it.
Okay.
Hey, Chris, I just want to say hello before you say goodbye. It's Len Burrell from the other side of the country.
Oh, hi, Len. Yeah.
How you doing?
I'm very well, thank you.
Hopefully we'll get to meet in person if we can ever get past COVID.
Oh, man. Any day now, I hope.
You betcha.
Crazy. How do I get out? How do I? Oh, I pushed the red dot there.
Yeah,
Okay, good night,
push the red
everybody.
dot.
Hey, Chris.
Good night,
All
Chris.
right.
Hey, nice seeing you, Chris.
Say hi to Joan for me.
Say hello
I will
to
do that.
Jerry for me.
Yeah.
Say hello to
Yeah.
Bruce.
You take care.
Smith brothers say goodbye.
I'm out of here too, guys. I'll see y'all.
All right, Eddie. Hey, thanks for coming
All right,
in, Eddie.
you take care.
Appreciate you.
Good.
We'll see you Friday. Take care of yourself, buddy.
I won't be on Friday. I'll have to go to bed early. I got a bass tournament Friday or Saturday, so I'll see you next
All right.
week.
Well, happy hunting. Hope you catch a lot of fish.
John, I have a solution to your problem.
Hi, Tom.
Say what?
I have a solution to your problem.
Oh, which one of my problems? I got so many of them.
I mean, you were showing a flying wing, and you were talking about the control system in it and how it's a little bit difficult. Okay, so here's the idea. Okay, because of the geometry of everything over there, and it's very hard to get the from the control triangle to the push rods, right, on both flaperons. I'm thinking about just move the triangle in the center of the fuselage and use 2 push rods from it, okay? And use bowlings everywhere on the triangle and on the connection. So from that point on, it's just the geometry really doesn't matter anymore. And now obviously on one is going to be longer, the other one is going to be shorter.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So that's the simplest way I would do it to ensure that it's smooth, doesn't have any bindings or anything like this. So because you drill the 2 holes side by side on a control triangle, obviously one is going to move more and the other one is going to move less. So what you do on the flaperons, on one side make it longer, obviously it's going to be outboard wing, and on the other one is going to be a little bit shorter on the inboard. And that's all there's to it. It's done.
That's a good idea. I've been thinking about it, and that's what Jim was talking about with his ME 163. It's a problem. I've got to show it for the guy I'm drawing it for. I'm going to show it the way that the original author did it.
Oh,
I want to draw him 2 or 3 different options, and then let him decide which way he wants to go. So your idea is a good one, and so is Jim's. And I even thought about going with some lucky boxes. But the problem is to move the belt crank into the center is almost impossible, because that's where the fuel tank or the batteries, there's not a whole lot of room in there because it's a flying wing. And so
okay.
I've got to put the belt crank where the original designer had it, or close to it. That's on the inboard wing towards the root. So that, again, you get one very long rod going. I'll get it worked out, and when I get it worked out, I'll show you guys the options. We can all.
Yes, I have another idea. Have you ever seen those remote control push rod cables that are flexible? They kind of go everywhere.
Yeah.
You can do the same thing. You go from the control triangle and use the flexible stuff and just route it around and just put it square on the
attach
flaps.
to one side of you attach to one side of the bell crank over here and the other side over here.
Yeah. Those things are not real smooth though. They when you bend them, they get a lot more bind in them, and they're not real free.
Yeah.
The one that would probably work is the one where it has the cable inside the housing. But you got to make sure
I think that's Nyrod. Nyrod, I think, is the
Nyrod, yeah.
Well, yeah, but there's one that doesn't have the plastic center. It has a braided cable in there.
Right. Right, but the problem with that is you have to secure the outside casing to something solid, right?
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
And you have to attach it in several places so it can get any flex and movement.
Because I had one on the modified wing I made out of a flight streak that I crashed so many times. I go, well, I'll make a wing out of it, and that's what I used.
How'd it work?
It worked great.
Was it smooth?
I mean, as far as me not being as good as you pilots are, I had fun with it.
Even John,
You're not that good.
I've even used the braided cable. That's actually what I was talking about, not an iRod.
Right.
It's a smaller sheet.
Guys, I'm gonna go sleep. Good night.
You do
Thank you, Fred, for your thoughts on that. Sorry to interrupt you,
buddy. See you Friday.
No problem. You do have to secure it in multiple places.
See you, Phil.
But if you have to do a curve with it, it has more binding.
Yeah.
There's just no way around it, so but at any rate, listen guys, I gotta go too. Tomorrow's my invoice day, so I hope to see you Friday.
Thank you, Jim, for coming in. I'll see you Friday.
Bye.
Let me interrupt you guys. Bob Hunt.
Yo.
There's a question for you from Brent Williams. He says, hey, Bob, any progress on the lost sheeting twin?
Yes, I finally got the carbon in so I could redo the flap that I broke stupidly. So, yeah, I do have some more progress on that. Hold on, I'll get it.
All right.
While he's off getting his, my little cockpit is turning around and coming together.
Very
Looking good.
Wow. Looks good.
Looking good, really. Yeah, it looks really good.
Yeah.
Wow.
I like your little chair. That's
wrong with that.
Now you're going to put
that must be a pretty big airplane.
You're going to put a safety harness?
That's the Pathfinder Ellie.
Yeah.
That's huge.
It fits. That's what fits in there.
Wow.
You need to get a pilot like Indiana Jones sitting in that seat.
I've got to finish the seatbelt harnesses yet, and there's still a little bit of work to do on it. But
Good job, man. Good job.
You gonna tint the canopy on that?
Yes,
Pete?
absolutely.
Yeah. How you gonna tint it?
Wow, that's pretty.
I was thinking, like you recommended, spray painting the inside of it, but I'm kind of like a bit hesitant, so I'm probably just going to go with the tried and true. Get a proper color grit dye and sit there and soak it about a dozen different times until I get it to the shade that I want.
Trouble with red dye that I've run into, and I'm sure it's not there. That looks good, Bob. Is that the red dye tends to sun bleach out, whereas if you put a little paint, a little blue and a little black, and not much, just a little bit into, you can adjust use your airbrush and you can adjust and put a little more shading in some areas. Hey, that looks good. Anyway, I'll shut up here while Bob's showing that. That looks good.
All right, that's just a fuse crutch.
That looks good.
Yeah,
It does look good.
Nothing. It's like a couple ounces. It's really nothing. And I did this using the TrueFit system, where I built around a plate. And then this is the wing, all set to go. There you go in the fuselage, essentially, right now.
Let me see how you got your. That's interesting. How you got your belt cranks secured in there.
The corn, yeah. Corn secured.
Yeah, very nice. What kind of hinges are you using, Bob?
I'm using Great Plains hinges.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Do those clips touch the sides of the fuselage? They look too small for that.
What's that?
They don't. They won't. I was going to say, do those clips on there, do they touch the sides of the fuselage? But they don't.
No,
they're inboard of
they're
that.
well inside the fuselage. Yeah.
Yeah, that's sharp.
Hey, listen, I got something I queued up on my TV here, a CD or DVD, that I don't know if you're going to be able to see it or not, but I think give me just a second here to queue it up, because I think we're going to enjoy this.
All right.
I know John will enjoy this. Give me just a second here, John. I got to rewind it just a little bit.
Bob, make sure it's not the naughty movie you were watching last night. Your wife went to bed.
We might give him a thumbs up if he's got the naughty one.
All right,
you guys
ready?
See me?
Check this out.
Okay, I can see that.
Oh,
wow.
Look at that.
Yeah, I remember that.
hand here.
Oh, wow.
I remember that. I was there that year.
Very nice.
In the Salt Lake area. It's two flight suits, and then it's fun flying airplane. Doesn't handle the wind too well because of the high aspect ratio.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Who's the young guy posing it?
I don't know. I wonder where he went. I haven't seen him in a couple of years.
Wow. Somebody wants something a little different. It's got two OS-20s in it, plenty of power. I actually have looped it on one engine, but you want to give it a downhill run first.
Oh, that is excellent.
I still have that. It's in the back corner of the room here.
Wow.
Wish I still had that hat.
Anyway.
What's the hat?
That's cool.
Appreciate
hat,
that.
Huh?
The hat was a Arizona style cowboy hat. Plaited grass or whatever it was. And it was shaped just perfect for me. I lost it somewhere. I don't know where. And all the pins I had on it. That's yeah. The pins were worth more than the hat to me.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, John, do you remember doing that interview?
I do. Yeah.
What year would that have been?
2000. No, it wasn't 2000. It was.
I got it here someplace. Give me a second. It was VSC 8.
Yeah.
What year was that? 1990.
Wow.
5 or 6.
Yeah, it had to be somewhere in
I
there.
was thinking 6. I was thinking 96.
96.
I think the first VSC I made it to was either VSC 2 or 3, and that would have been in like 91 or 92.
Well, this was VSC 8. So let's see. First
Yeah.
one would be so that would be 97.
Yeah,
First one was
that sounds
88.
about right.
Yeah, when we were all a lot younger.
That's my second trip.
Yeah, I found another picture of that young guy that I don't recognize anymore. He's holding my Excalibur. I wonder where. Well, I know where that one went.
Yeah.
You know what they say about light airplanes? What happens to them when you crash?
They turned it.
What happens to a light airplane when you crash it, Bob?
Gets lighter.
Turns to dust.
I don't know. I never crashed
Turns to
them.
dust. That's what mine did.
And if you believe that, I've got some waterfront property in Idaho I want to talk to you about.
Danny, are you still here?
His mic's muted and his camera's off, but he's still here.
I just wanted to thank him for this tip. Right after robotics tonight, I stopped at the Menards and picked one up. I haven't tried it yet. I just got it.
What is it?
What's it called?
A glue applicator.
Yes, it's a Babe Bot. I got it at Menards.
Oh, okay.
And I filled it with Tight Bond 3.
All right, you got the date.
I haven't even cut off the tip yet, but it's for gluing.
Wow, I got to get me one of those.
Damn, now you're a babe, huh?
No, he's the bot part.
Oh.
So thank you, Denny. I see you're there now.
Denny's getting all kinds of kudos tonight.
That's it. I've even been muted by the moderator. So.
Oh,
I'm sorry, Denny.
I wasn't even saying anything.
I was trying to find the source of the. All right, so who wanted to speak? Someone just said they wanted to speak, and I forgot their name. Oh, Mike. Mike.
Yeah, just hey, Bob Hunt, check your email tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then just respond to me. Keep that on the down low.
Okay.
But I just sent you an email. If you could help me out with that, I'd appreciate it.
Okay.
And also, I just got an email from Mike Stinson, who's and a lot of you are probably going to get this too if you're on the email list. NAS beginner stunt for 2021. It's just, all the deal about how it is and whatnot. But again, he's always looking for donations, and that can be in the form of kits, airplanes, fuel, motors, covering material, old pit boxes, just whatever you got that you're not using. If you're coming to the Nats and you're going to be there on Sunday, predating the kickoff of Monday, Tuesday, they would appreciate donations for the Nats for beginners. So
He does a great job with that.
he does. He's trying to, carry the mantle from Alan Brickhouse. So
He's
trying
doing
to keep it going.
Good job. A good man.
I was going to tell you at Value Hobby, if you want that carbon fiber monocoque, it's $15 for 5 meters.
Wow, that's cheap. That's 15. Whoa, that's a big roll for that money, I tell you.
I can't remember who was telling me that they had an electric motor that looked just like that G-Force motor I had. Anybody remember who said something about that? Was that you?
Yeah, you're muted, Tom.
Sorry, I muted myself. Yes, that was me.
Where did you get that one from?
I think it came from it. Oh, what's that? It's from China.
Hobby King?
No.
Banggood?
Banggood, yes. It came from Banggood.
Oh, okay. What was the name of that again?
Race Star BR 4250 or something like that. You want me to go look to be sure?
Yeah, I just want to see sizes because Dennis and I we were talking and got on there. The G-Force, this motor testing is really good. You know, it's a 32 like the Rimfire or E-Flight. It's for $28, but I was wondering if they make that in other sizes. That
Jenny's got one there.
Very many sizes in it. What one you got there, Dennis?
This is a Red Rock.
A Red Rock. Oh, okay.
Yeah. And even the lady who I was dealing with in China told me this is their low cost motor. All right. So even she said it's low cost, so it must really be low cost. But it just occurred to me, you know, when I was looking at your motor the other day, we were talking about it. I had seen that somewhere before, and I think it looked a lot like this, didn't it? With the 3 holes on one side and stuff like that. And I don't know.
Red Rock, that's what we used to call your Fuga Magister.
Yeah, probably called it a lot of things. I don't care what they called it, as long as they called it Champion. So.
Oh, yeah, this is that one. You know, I mean, for $28, this thing seems to it has tremendous power, and it outdoes the you know, the rating on the E-Flight and the Rimfire.
What the heck is it?
It's called a
huge G-Force.
Yeah, from Value Hobby.
I have a list. I promised to send it to Steve, and I just remembered that I promised, and then I've forgotten to do it. But there is a list I got from somebody else on Stunt Hangar. I think it was maybe Fred Underwood. Basically lists where all of the Outrunner motors come from. They're made in like 3 different factories in China. And a lot of the same motors, you know, some of the expensive motors like the were made right side by side with the cheap motors and everything like that. And they just change the color of the anodizing and things like that, and that's all they do. So
different sticker on the outside.
That's about it.
Yeah, you know what? And I threw on this 15-inch prop, and I was turning it at.
Have you tried one of these?
What?
Looks like a badass.
That's a badass, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Bob, yeah, I have one, and this $28 motor kicks the shit out of that badass.
I gotta see that to believe it. I gotta see to believe it.
I'll take a video on my my thrust steel and stuff and show you. I mean,
I gotta see that to believe it.
Yeah, if the thrust, you know, it's like I was talking with Dennis. I'm like, well, I try not, you know, it's like I don't believe this stuff. So I put a different watt meter on there. The watt meter is within 50 watts of what this test stand does. The RPM is within 100 RPM. I'm gonna buy a thing that converts to amps, but yeah, I mean, from testing these motors, it's just hard to believe some of the difference for the price. And you know how the badass clicks when you push it by the magnets? This G-Force is probably twice as stiff as you can feel the magnet click in it.
Well, I love these.
Oh, whatever floats your boat.
Yeah.
What size is that, Bob? It looked pretty big.
This is a 3515 710 kV. Same thing Walker's using and Chris Cox and everybody. Joe Dale.
Oh, one of those guys know.
Bob?
Yeah, what do they know?
Yeah, I have one of them, and I have the Cobra. The same thing with the Cobra.
Yeah, I got the Cobra here too.
So far, this G-force has kicked the shit out of all these motors.
Put $1 in the jar.
Yep.
Yeah. Curse jar.
Oh, he
What
dropped the
size is your
F-bomb.
G-force?
He dropped the F-bomb earlier. I don't know if anyone caught that.
I didn't catch that. I was asleep at the wheel.
Yeah.
I can
Steve,
afford.
what size is your G-force?
This thing is $50 cheaper than the Badass.
What size is it?
It is a 35-20, I think.
How many KV?
3520.
Yeah,
What's the KV?
800.
That's more.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that could be a 6S or a 5S motor.
Yeah.
Be a little slow for 5S, but yeah.
Bob, what's the bolt pattern on the Badass? What's the diameter of the bolt pattern?
Well, it's an X pattern, so it'll fit into anything that has slots instead of holes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
What I found out with all these motors is the back part of where the plate, the little plate like this fits on. It seems to be pretty standard. That'll fit on the Cobra, the Badass, the G-Force, the Aerowind. The only thing difference is the outer hole spacing is different.
Yeah.
But inside the motor holes are all the same.
11/16 nominally thinner.
Most of the motors are on a 25 millimeter center. I believe the Badasses are there.
And this fits right up to my the plate I use.
Yeah.
And it fits right on there, and it opens. You can see the cooling hole right on the.
Yeah, on the back of it.
But,
Yeah. That seems to be the same. It's just where they do the outer holes to mount them. Now the Badass are slotted, where a lot of these just have a hole drilled through.
Where'd Lynn go? We lost Lynn.
across the diameter is 1 inch, 25 millimeters.
Wow.
Yeah, nominally an inch across. Yeah.
Okay.
But again, I use a slotted one, so it takes everything from a Park 450 up to a 35 or even larger motor.
Yeah, I don't. That's why I asked.
It's pretty slick.
Let me interrupt you guys. On the chat box, this is a while back, but Jeff Riley says John is talking about the Sullivan goldenrods. We used them on RC boats years ago.
Yeah.
And,
that's what it's called.
I think I'm all caught up. Now we're showing we've had 23, 24 viewers, and we have only 14 likes. So if you're still around, you're still watching this, and you haven't hit the thumbs up, please hit the thumbs up. And don't forget the super chat. The super chat helps. We have no super chats and no new members. Don't forget to hit the join button. It's just $4.99 a month. That's less than 17 cents a day, and it helps this channel. So please donate, please join, please share and subscribe. All these things. Even comment, put comments in the comment section. All these things help the analytics of the channel.
I'll tell you what, Charles. I switched computers because for the last 2 weeks I've been having problems with my other one, and my picture goes out. Sparky needs to have a link, just like it says open forum or whatever, to be able to get in to At the Bench, the video chat. It is such a pain in the ass to do. I was myself it probably took me, what, 15 minutes to get back in on this computer. There should
Get
be
better internet, man.
and go in, huh?
Get better internet. That's what I had to do. I had to boost my internet to be able to be anywhere in the house and do it. I struggled forever, man, on the phone and even on a laptop and a Chromebook. And until I bumped up my internet in the house, it's hard to do this stuff if you've got not enough internet to handle it.
No, it's not. This one's working fine. I think I got some kind of virus or something on my computer. When I first come in, it's fine. And then all of a sudden it says 8x8 can't access my camera and everything goes to hell.
Close out all those naughty sites, Steve, and you won't have that problem.
Yeah. The naughty side. I think it's the after hours that's screwing me over.
Hey Charles, I don't know if you're getting ready to cut the stream, but I want to chime in on something here.
Yeah, we still have like 20 minutes.
So the YouTube guys can see it, and all you guys, you know what this is. This is, but the YouTube guys might not know. This is a tool that Jim Lee sells. It's a prop scribing tool for cutting props to length, right? And if you ever want to cut down a wooden prop or a carbon fiber prop and get it exact length, this is a scribe tool that Jim Lee makes, and I think it's only, I don't know, 10 or 12 bucks, maybe 15 bucks. But if you got a kid that's flying RC electric planes off your front street and he's always scoofing up propellers and breaking the tips, it's a great little tool to be able to scribe it and then cut it down and get it even on both sides. So I just want to give a little shout out to Jim Lee and Lee Machine Shop.
Amen.
Jim Lee makes all kinds of great stuff for us control line guys, and this little prop scribing tool is really cool for trimming props and getting them close, and then you can balance them afterwards.
Yeah, that's a great tip, and I have one of those too.
Yep. Yeah, I'm working on some RC stuff that Sam has kind of beat up last year. I'm getting it ready for this year, and this one I had to pull off and clean it up, and I pulled my trusty Jim Lee tool out, and I just want to give a shout out to Jim and let people out there in YouTube world know, if you got to trim a propeller, it's better than using a ruler and trying to mark it, or just do it on the belt sander. You scribe it, you get a good clean line, and then you can clean it up and get it super close. So
Yeah, they're good.
Thank you very much for that, Mike.
Hey, can I add one in while we're praising Jim Lee?
Say it again? Sure.
I'd like to add another little shout for Jim Lee if we can.
Sure.
I don't know if you guys have ever seen this. Awesome. It's his nose ring sander. All right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's made to slide over the crankshaft of an engine, of course, and you can sand. You can get a perfect spinner fit with it. Well, he usually makes them for like a 1/4 inch shaft or something like that. I talked him into making one with inserts.
Oh yeah, nice. Oh, that's a great idea.
That's a great idea.
For electric.
When I'm using my my electric motor with a 5mm shaft, I just slip the 5mm insert in there, and
yeah, very nice.
It's Fat City, baby. I mean, it just really works great. You can really square it off. You can really true up the front. And if you talk to Jim, I don't know, even if you're building, airplanes with like a 1/4 inch shaft and a 5/16 shaft and a 7mm shaft and everything like that, he could make up a few of these for you, or even make up a couple extra, and you can even, customize them to your own need and stuff like that. Like he made this one for me. It's a 1/4 inch on one end, and I believe 5/16 on the other end. So if I ever do succumb to the dark side, if you will, and go back to building gas airplanes, I'll be able to use it there too. But,
yeah, the thing is, I don't know if you can with that with a spinner. Some are flat backs, and some have a little step in them. With I made up a deal to add more sandpaper on there so I could get my clearance.
Yeah. Well, even then, that's something where the step thing would come in handy. The step one would come in handy because I could put the big side over the step, like on a Super Tiger, had the step at the back of the crankshaft and a quarter-inch thread. Well, I could put this on with the big end first, and it would fit over the step on the crankshaft, and then still align itself properly on the threaded part, so that it would still be square when I go to sand it. But yeah, that's that is a concern. It's something you got to watch out for too. But it's not that big a deal. So
Yeah, I ended up having to get a different spinner because I sanded it. Once I put the spinner on there, I had this huge gap, and I'm like, well, shit.
Oh, there's another $1.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's it. You get another piece of quarter-inch or 1/8-inch ply or something like that. Cut another nose ring, and then sand it and sand it and sand it till it's too short again. So
that was
It looks like the Genesis with doodads.
Because
that's your humbo, Bob. I wanted to show you guys something. A lot of people. What's that?
I don't know what happened.
Couldn't hear that. A lot of people have been asking me how to hold an electric airplane for painting because you can't rip the motor mount. So one of the ways to do it is, I'll show what I do. I put a little mount. Let me see if I hold on a second. I got to be able to get in here and see it. Hold on a second. I don't want to drop this thing on my airplane.
Just don't break the stab or elevator.
All right, there we go. There we go. I bolt a piece of maple motor mount stock that I've drilled to fit against the firewall, or in this case, the electron wall.
Right, I see that.
I bolt it in, and it's got two little holes that you can bolt the battery down to. Well, you can also use that along with the slot in the back of that electronics bay. Let's see if I can get here and see it. I'm having a hard time getting this where I want it. There's a slot in the back.
I see that.
Hole?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if you take and make a piece that looks like this.
Oh, wow.
Right? It'll slide into that slot. Let me just get it in here and then I'll show it. I haven't got this finished yet, so I gotta make it big again there.
You are big.
Charles, so I can't see it on mine.
Yeah, you are big. You're huge.
Well, I can't see it here. Hold on. I'm not getting it.
But you're huge.
Okay, there we are. There we are. All right, now let's see if I can get this in here. All right. I'm having a hard time getting this where I want. Okay, there we go. And this thing will now bolt in.
Oh, so you hold it there.
Uh-oh. And the phone rings.
It's hard to see.
Yeah, I know it is hard to do that. And Jim Smith was struggling a little bit too.
Okay, that'll bolt in there. And then you can put on ears. I'm having a hard time here. I did put a ding in it. Put a ding in it.
I don't know.
Hello.
We don't see you now for some reason.
Lost the camera and your sound.
I think he's talking to someone on the phone.
Yeah.
No, that was Phil.
Oh.
Probably lost his signal. He lost his camera.
Yeah, we hear it.
Oh, he's got his camera turned off right now.
You know, Bob, yeah, Robin's View Productions, I'm surprised you don't have multiple cameras set up at this point. I'm disappointed.
Who makes that one, Mike?
This is the E-Flight Night Vision Air.
Oh, okay.
I picked this up. On Facebook Marketplace locally for like $75.
Wow.
And yeah, this thing retails for like $249.
Yeah.
Because it's all LED inside the wing and the fuselage. It lights up and shit and stuff.
$1.
Yeah, well, I said half of it. It's 50 cents. But I got it last year, and we were just flying it around the house in the front yard and stuff off the street. And Sam scooped the prop up and ripped the rudder off it. So I'm just getting it back to flying condition. I don't know. I shortened that prop. I don't know if it's going to be enough. But I'm going to plug it up and see if everything still works on it. And the other one I was working on, the old-time slow flyer. Just getting some RC stuff knocked out. Actually, I spent about 2 hours in the shop today hanging up airplanes, getting stuff off the floor, hanging them up, making room. I got a pile of 5 airplanes over here that I got to pull motors off because all the airplanes are getting donated or passed on or given away. Actually, Phil, are you still here? Is Phil here?
Oh, he's on the telephone.
Okay.
He should be back in a second, Mike.
He'd be the first one that would probably be interested in this. But I've decided that
Oh wow!
Hey, Phil's back.
I'm gonna. I thought I was gonna run and restore this and get it going again. This was Marshall Busby's. Phil had offered to cover it if I brought it to him, but it's for sale. I don't need it in my stable, and I'm thinking, based on what I paid for it, I would like to sell this TO with the LA-46 for $1.25 to anybody that wants it, if anyone's interested in it.
Wow.
Now, the motor it's locked up, but I'm sure it's just from caster. You know, it's just from sitting for 10 or 15 years. I'm sure the motor's fine if you take it apart and get it going. But Phil, if you're back and you're interested in another Kawasaki with the LA-46 ready to go, needs to be restored and recovered, I'm selling it.
Okay.
And I thought I'd give you first right of refusal. So
bring it to me, and I know somebody will want it. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Is
Okay,
that a
bring
deal for $125 with the motor?
Yeah, bring it to me. I know somebody will want it.
Okay. All right. It's yours.
Well, that was a tough sale.
That was quick.
Well,
I know the guy that designed it, and that is one of the early ones. So I know somebody that definitely will want it.
It is, and
lost
Phil,
his.
you know, I thought I wanted it because it was Marshall's and because it's a TO, and I've always wanted one, but to be honest with you, I don't want to put the time in it to get it back to where it needs to be. I mean, I could make it airworthy again, but it really needs to be professionally restored and brought back to its glamour. And I don't have the time and the wherewithal to do that. I don't have the passion to do that. So it should go to somebody. It should go to someone who really, 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 really wants one. You know.
Well, I know somebody does. He just lost his, and he's wanting another one.
Oh, who's that? Maybe I can get 150 out of him.
maybe I better keep that. Steve, one of the guys here, is I can't even think of his last name, but he had he had one that had been wrecked, and he put it back together, and it just met its end Sunday. Got a gust of wind, got it, and it went in hard.
Okay.
And I think
I paid Marshall's son-in-law $125 for it, so I'm not making any money on it. And I gave him $125 because it had the OS 46 on it. you know.
Yeah.
So, I'm not trying to make anything on it, and I do believe honestly that motor's just seized because it's been sitting for 15 years. That's probably the last time Marshall flew it was 2005 or something like that. I think you take that motor apart, soak it, it's going to be a fine runner. It's got a Tiger needle valve in it, you know, and a Custom Venturi, so it should be okay. The tank is probably garbage on it. You know, there's no covering on the wing, but I'd rather see it go to someone who'll appreciate it and restore it properly. So, and Sam is mad at me for getting rid of it too. Sam already said, "Daddy, I can't believe you're selling. You wanted a Kiyosaki forever." And I was like, "Yeah, I do want one, but I want one that was like built brand new, ready to go." You know, I'm not into saving old stuff as much as some other people are, and I'm not that in love with the. I can build a foam wing Kiyosaki. Sam's, you know, stunt bot stuff. I still got 3 sets of cores for the stunt bots, which is basically a foam wing Kiyosaki, and they fly the same. So, yeah, they fly the same. So somebody else can get some enjoyment out of it.
Yeah,
so that's a deal.
Hey, Mike, I just sent you a PM. Check your PM, Mike. I'm on the chat here.
On the chat here. Oh, you're gonna make me write. Why didn't you just text me, Charles? Text me.
Yeah, but I got it done. You know, I don't want to forget it.
Yeah, but now I got to go in here and look. I got to write it down. If you texted me, it'd be on my phone.
Boy, you guys back in the 50s.
I can still text you if you want. Okay, no worries. I can do that.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. All right, I got you.
So, Bob, are you ready, Bob?
Well, yeah, hold on. I just want to.
Who's Carl Reed?
You got that idea how that
That's
thing
the guy right there who wants. You're gonna send him the stuff for the
yeah.
powder.
Okay. All right. I got you. I'm
you got
sorry.
The idea how this goes in the nose, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Goes in that slot in the back here into the firewall, and then these bolt down where the battery holder is. But then what I'm going to do is make ears that come off of here and go forward, plywood ears, and that will connect to my spit for turning the airplane. So you can turn the whole airplane with this bolted into the electronics bay. And
nice.
That way you don't risk damaging the airplane like I almost did.
Wow. Very ingenious, Bob.
Yeah, and you make one for each airplane. You just make a plate that goes in, then you put these on the side, and then you bolt the ears to it, and then you can make one custom for each airplane. It takes you about an hour or so.
Had thought about that. I kept.
Oh, you guys, I got something else on the chat box. Mark Lumen says, "Hey guys,
Hey, Mark's out
long
there.
day today. Surgery all set for Wednesday. Gonna just relax tomorrow."
Good deal.
Well, I hope you do good, Mark.
Yeah, I hope you do too.
Good luck.
Charles, I thought that was Carl. I thought Carl's last name was Shoup. I thought we were talking to Carl Shoup. I didn't realize it was Carl Reed.
Yeah,
Carl Reed right there.
Carl
Say hi,
passed
Carl.
some years ago.
Who's Carl Shoup?
He passed away some years ago.
He passed away. Okay.
And as far as Carl Reed's concerned, Carl Shoup spelled his name wrong. Carl spelled with a K.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, Mike. I didn't mean to confuse you.
No, it's okay. I think at the same time, someone had mentioned Carl Shoup earlier in a conversation, and then you were introduced as Carl, and I thought that's who you were. But now, if memory serves, Carl Shoup is an older guy.
Let me tell you a real quick cool story about Carl Shoup.
Yeah.
He passed away some years ago, but he was the coolest guy. He had a motorcycle accident and broke his leg, and he was in a wheelchair. And he went out to VSC with a Dale Kern, I forgot the name of the airplane, but it looked like a Batman kind of thing.
Yeah.
Belfry bound.
Belfry bound. And it was like about literally a 20-mile-an-hour wind, which is most people would think is like a 30-mile-an-hour wind. It was a really bad wind, and only about 4 guys flew in the second round in that wind, and he was one of them. in the wheelchair by himself in the center of the circle. He actually turned the thing with the one wheel.
Wow.
And flew the whole pattern in the, out of a wheelchair.
And
man, that puts me to shame. Oh my God.
Was he a speed flyer too, Bob?
No.
Combat.
Flew some combat. Yeah.
He flew combat, and Dale Kern though he was a speed guy, right?
Yeah, he was.
Right.
Okay, I'm trying to. I can associate the names together for sure.
You know, something
All right,
else.
well,
I think
Carl
you're
Reed, I
thinking-
got your address, and there's
you're
your
thinking of
stuff. So
You're thinking of Shewitt. He was a speed guy.
do it. Okay.
Yeah.
Something else about Carl Shute is that most people don't know. He was a machinist by trade, and he actually got his thumb cut off.
Ooh.
Smashed, cut off. Carl Shute. And they sent him to San Francisco, a doctor there, and he took his, I think it was his left hand. So they took his right big toe and grafted it onto his hand. And it was amazing the dexterity that he had, because he continued doing machining. One of the things he did is machining armatures for motorcycles.
Yeah. That same thing happened to Paul Baluk, except he didn't do it in a machine shop. He was in a thunderstorm, and the lightning hit the airplane, went down the line, and it blew the bottom of his feet out, and it blew his thumb off. And they had to use one of the toes, his big toes, as the thumb.
Wow. Amazing. Amazing. Well, you guys, I'm going to transition to the after party.
Powder,
And,
your hand up.
We've had a really good show. We had a new guest, Chris Cox, came in. Hopefully he comes back. We appreciate you coming in. And like I said, we had like 23, 24 viewers, and we're up to 15 likes. So if you haven't hit the thumbs up button, please do that. And I also want to appeal to our replays. We might get like 24 views now, but we'll have 300 views in a couple of weeks. So if you're watching this, if you stayed the whole time, please give us a thumbs up, a like, and join. It's only 17 cents a day, and that really helps the channel grow. And again, we're going to go into the after party, and sometimes the after party is better than the live stream portion. John and Howard Rush had a fantastic conversation last time in the after party.
After everybody left.
Sometimes the best is yet to come. So you want to join stunthangar.com/SMF so that you can be in the after party. You need to have that link, access to that, and you need to be in Stunt Hangar to find that. So until then, go out there and have some fun. Hopefully all be back Friday and more. And thank you for watching, and we will see you. We'll see you later. And as Sparky says, tight lines and fair winds, right? We'll see you later. And let me stop the stream now.